Welcome in, listeners. This is Marge and Mavens, a podcast hosted by Steph and Kayla, where we share our thoughts, all things literature. Today, it's just me. The Puerto Ricans are taking over. Today's episode is about The Queen and the Heiress, a spicy sapphic romantasy series by CC Gonzalez. And today we are joined by the author herself. Make sure to go grab a snack and a drink, unless you're driving, then remember 10 and 2, and come hang out with us while we dive in. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited. In case nobody else knows this, I am Puerto Rican. So being able to read a fellow Puerto Rican author was very exciting for me. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm really, really, really excited to talk about The Queen The Heiress.
Yes. The second book, The Stolen Kingdom, just came out recently, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it came out on July 1st, the beginning of Prime Month.
Can you walk us through a little bit of what your writing process looks like from start to finish, just a little bit?
Well, I am all over the place, to be honest. So I envy these authors that are very organized because I am nothing but. I everything starts with a mood. Like I listen to a song or I watch a movie and I get this vibe or this mood and I go like, huh. And then I have ADHD, so my mind will just start obsessing over that mood or that vibe, and then I will start like hyperfixating on a specific song, and then so all of a sudden I have a 4 book series. I don't know, it just happens. But the Queen the Heiress started off as actually as a fanfic. It was a fanfic back in 2006. But of course, I just was just graduating high school, so I just didn't pay attention to it, and I just locked it up in a floppy disk and ignored it forever. But then Hurricane Maria happened in Puerto Rico in 2017. I'm still currently living in the archipelago. I never left. So I went through Hurricane Maria, and I remember that I didn't have much to do, so I went back to writing because I just find, there was nothing to do. I was without electricity for like 3 months, 4 months, and I didn't have anything to do, so I started writing. So I started writing. I found the story again. I gave it a look. I was like, this kind of has potential. But after that, I went back to work as a teacher, and then the pandemic hit. And I was like, wait, I really need to do something with my life. I wasn't like getting, I was still working, but I wasn't generating enough income. And I started working on The Queen The Heiress. It was actually supposed to be only 1 book. I divided it into 2 after talking with my editor, and they decided that it would be better if I divided it into 2 books. So after Hurricane Maria, I thought about this specific kingdom, the kingdom by the sea, and I said, let's make this kind of like what happened to Puerto Rico during Hurricane Maria. And everything started flowing. And once I made that connection with Puerto Rico, everything was so much easier to write and to connect with the characters. And I totally changed it to like the fanfic like it was back in 2006 to what it is now. But yes, I just hyperfixate over the characters and what would happen, the emotions, the longing, the yearning, which is something that I love to write about. Like sapphic yearning and longing is nothing like, no hate on to heterosexual couples, but the longing and yearning and sapphic is way better.
It's different.
It's more dramatic. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I decided to write about that. And I always, I always like the dynamic of a very put together masculine woman that thinks that she has everything under control with this bisexual disaster that is Maris, that, that she doesn't want any of the spotlight, but she sees Balda and goes like, girl, you need help. Let me help you. But yeah, again, it's just, I just write scenes as I go, and then I kind of like connect them all in a way that it makes sense. And then I give it to my beta readers and I give it to my my editor. And that's basically how it goes.
I love that. There is one thing I definitely loved is I did see a lot of like Puerto Rico in the writing itself. And I did also kind of pick up a little bit, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but like a theme of like colonization and what it does
Mm-hmm.
to like those that are colonized, and I really appreciated that. Like just I just love the little political esque messaging in between all of the sapphic yearning
Mm-hmm.
and spice scenes. Um, who who was your favorite character to write
From like the main characters.
from any of them?
Okay, my favorite main character from the main characters, because
Mhm.
then there's the side characters. The main character for me, my favorite to write was Valda,
Yeah.
and even though there are not as much points of view in her, there's chapters in her point of view. I think I love writing how she desired Maris, like the way that she desired her
Yes.
at first. Uh, Mainly because she desired her because she is my soulmate. I know she is deep down, even though I cannot do the connection with her because I'm blind.
Hmm.
But she was so stubborn about it, and I love to write that stubbornness with her. And also my favorite scene to write with Valda and her point of view was when she was finally able to see Maris. That scene
Yeah.
where she goes, "Holy Uranus," and then she falls to her
Yeah.
knees. That the way that she describes Maris is just like it was better than she ever expected because she had this idea in her mind, like what a alien looked like,
Right.
but everything like it blew her mind literally. And I love writing that part with that scene is for me. I sometimes read it
It's
again
so
because
good.
it's so
Yeah.
sweet. It's so like even though she's she is a very physical person. She
Hmm.
desires a lot, but at the same time it's like I can finally put a face to this feeling that I have for this person. I can
Right.
finally put a face on it, and I loved it. So Valda, from the main character is Valda. I love Maris, but Valda is just with the desire and the
Yeah.
longing. She was the best to write for. And the side characters for me, even though he doesn't make a lot of appearance, is Caden, Valda's best friend.
Yes. Yes.
I love him. He is. I have a friend that is kind of like him, and
Yeah.
he's all up for, hey, let's just have fun and let's do this and let's do that. I'm like, take it easy. But Caden for me is my favorite. He will make a comeback in book 3. He will be appearing more in that book because Kina and they are cousins. So, and
Yes.
also because of the political thing going on between Harmonia and the Vulcan Kingdom, there are going to be a lot
Yes.
of difficult political conversations and all that. But I love Caden and his magical gifts that keeps on giving, and he will make a
And
comeback. I just love
he
that
is so
character. So
fun.
he is very
He's
fun.
so fun to read.
He
And
is,
everybody needs a friend like Caden,
of
truly.
course. He's kind of an
Um,
enabler, but he's a good kind of
yes.
enabler.
Yes. Yes. But you know what? That's okay because he's creative and fun.
Hmm.
Um, and the gift he gave Valda really just took me out. I was like, yeah, he kind of would.
To be honest, I never thought that that gift will, like, how do I say this? I just put it there for funsies. But
Right.
as people read the book and they kept talking about it, I'm like, oh God,
Oh,
I need to put
yeah.
a stuff. I need to bring it back for book 2. And the thing is, well,
Hmm.
spoiler alerts if you haven't read the books. You know that they have to leave the castle and leave everything behind,
Right.
leaving everything, including that.
Everything.
So when I'm wearing book 2, I'm like, oh my God, I need to make a comeback with that because then my readers are gonna hate me for it. And I had to wait until they're happily ever after to bring it back, but I needed to do it.
I appreciated the happily ever after. I like the callback to the gift. That was a lot of fun. Um, hold on, let me get my doo, doo. Oh, what who and what are some of your inspirations both in writing and in creating the story that you have?
I truly take inspiration in all the strong women around me.
Mhm.
I am surrounded, friends and family, by women
Mhm.
that are like go-getters, and they're very strong emotionally and also physically. And be surrounded by this type of women in my life, co-workers, friends, family. They inspire me. Like every single character, a female character that you see in my
Mhm.
stories, are somehow connected to someone that I know, or maybe it's a combination of people that I know in my life. with Balda's strength and then go get it attitude. Mary's kind of quiet, think it over. Let's not rush
Mhm.
into things. Ava's hard headedness. Everything is connected to women in my life, and also the men, because Ison, I love Ison.
Love
Ison is such
Iceland.
he's such a green flag, and he is a combination of the green flags of the men in my family as well.
Mhm.
And I take inspiration in that. Of course, all the media that I consume, I love it, and I want to like take a little bit of here, take a little bit of that, and just connect it somehow. And I read a lot when I was younger. I
Mhm.
consumed a lot. Right now, I can't because I don't have a lot of time. But I consume a lot
Right.
of media when I was growing up, and even though I'm quietly watching, I'm taking inspiration of it and seeing what people like and what they don't like, and I just go with that. And then, not to
Yeah.
mention that right now, as I am writing book three, I have
Mhm.
Ava, which is basically another Boricua coded character, because Boricua women are hard headed, including
Mhm.
myself. I am hard headed,
Yeah.
and I like to do things my way. When I doing that, I also like to exalt, or like bring up everything that has to do with Puerto Rico. Even
Yes.
so people like you, people that have had the experience of being Puerto Rico, can go like, I can see a little
Yeah.
Easter egg of Puerto Rico in this. I remember I had a reader reach out to me saying that the scene where Maris is dancing in the night of the nymph with Balda, and the sound of the drums and people singing, she
Mhm.
she told me like, oh, this really brought me back when I used to live in Puerto Rico with the bomba and the plena. And I was like,
Yes.
yes, like, yeah, that was exactly it. And that made me really happy. But yeah, that's the inspiration. Like the people around me, where I come from, what I'm living in Puerto Rico, and all that. And the Sea Kingdom is not going to be the only Puerto Rico kind of place. In book
Right.
four, we're gonna have the Ria Kingdom, which is basically, if the Sea Kingdom was the beach side of Puerto Rico with the beaches
Mhm.
and all that, the Ria Kingdom is gonna be like the countryside of Puerto Rico.
Right.
There's going to be like the feeling of community that we only get in the rural areas, and all that. Like we're gonna have a character that is very connected to the land that she lives in, very connected to like keeping the land. How can I say this? She's basically a green thumb, and she's very worried
Yes.
about the like keeping everything alive, and she is noticing that something is going on with like the plants. They're not doing what they're supposed to, and this kingdom is supposed
Mhm.
to like pray to this goddess that's supposed to give them like food and shelter in the environment, but something is happening. But I'm not going to give a lot because that one is literally still being outlined. But I already have the main character. She is very Boricua. Her main weapon is a machete, and
Love that.
she's gonna be a
Let's go.
badass. She's gonna be such a badass with the machete, and she's gonna be saying some Spanish words here and there. And she's gonna call the main character, her love interest, Amapola, because I cannot use the word maga. Because I wanted to use
Oh.
the word like flor de maga, but
Yeah.
so we're just gonna
Yeah.
go with Amapola for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, can I use this? What else can I use?
Yeah, it's so sad. Um, but you have such an interesting magic system in
Thank
this
you.
series. How did you come up with it? How did you
Well,
kind of put it together?
remember when I told you that it was a fanfic?
Yeah.
So I kind of had like this. It was a Sailor Moon fanfic. So how
Yes.
some of the characters, some of the characters have like these special powers and all that. I said,
Mhm.
well, let's connect it. Like, let's forget about Sailor Moon for a second. Let's just connect it directly from the Greek gods and goddesses, and that's
Yes.
that's that's how it happened. But I wanted only the people that were actually blessed by those gods. And I'm going like this because in book three
Mhm.
they're going to talk more about that. Um, those blessed by the god are the ones that wield those powers. But yeah, it was Sailor Moon all the way.
I love it. I love it. Okay, listeners, we're gonna get into some more spoiler stuff.
Same. Spoiler alert.
This is your this is your warning. Okay, Ison and Melvian, how dare you?
I'm so sorry, but
How dare? I knew it. I was like, oh no. You know, if you watch anime, you know when your favorite character starts getting more screen time, you know what's going to happen. And when Melvian was like a big part of book 2, I was like, no, say it ain't
I'm
so.
so sorry. But at the same time, I'm not sorry. I don't know what to say there. I love Melby and Ison. I think they were couples goal. Like,
Yeah.
she's a little bit feisty, and he's always like, "It's okay, honey. Everything will be fine." And I am so sorry. And I did, I wanted it to hurt. First of all, I wanted it to hurt.
Mm.
I
Mm.
wanted it
Mm-hmm.
to be like super painful, and I wanted to be
Check.
like, um, kind of sudden. And I know that some people are going to be, oh, that was an unnecessary death. Spoiler alert. This was an unnecessary death, but they're at war. So
Yeah, it wasn't. It
war
made sense.
war is going to be like that. You're going to have losses
Yeah, it
that you're
is.
not going to imagine. You're going to have losses that you're not going to like foresee, even though I kind of wanted to also give it a little uh how do you call this? Like just a spoiler, something bad is gonna happen because they were always talking about what they were gonna do after the war. The war was over.
Yes.
And I was like, let me just show this beautiful picture of them back in the Sea Kingdom with the babies and just rip that away from
With
you
the
because it's
babies.
the babies and that's not gonna happen. Um, but again, I said, and I was in an interview with Sarah in Wonderland, and I said, trust the process, everything will be
Mm-hmm.
fine. Remember that they are in this universe, people in this world, people, are reborn.
That's true. This is true.
They like Balda say, they will meet again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be beautiful, and it's going to be sapphic as well, and it's gonna happen in book 4.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
Okay,
Sold. Done.
so it's gonna be
Forgiven.
in book 4. Ison is gonna come back as a very strong girly, and he's going to be the
Yeah.
Boricua. He's going to be the Boricua girly.
Yes.
And he's going to be Captain Heartthrob in this book. The other female character is gonna call her Captain Heartthrob, and just to like kind of like tie it to what he used to be in book 1 and
Right.
2, which was a captain. But it's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be beautiful.
I love
It's
that.
I know
Now
that
I'm
it hurts
excited.
now, but once you see, there's going to be a lot of religious aspect in book 4 too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so they will find out that they were soulmates and that they found each other again and again. And it's going to be beautiful. Like I already have a couple of scenes written out. They don't even have like names, but I have the scenes already like planned out. Like okay, like Boricua, Ison, and the other girl, which I don't want to give a lot of spoiler because she's connected to a character in book 1, 2, and 3. So,
Okay.
so yeah, everything is connected. Everything is
I
connected.
love that.
I know that a lot of people love Melvian with her sweet attitude, but also, spitting all the truth when she needed to.
Mm-hmm.
I sense super super sweet longing for Melvian. I know it hurts a lot, but to be honest, um you know that I wrote this in book 1. I wrote Arwen's chapter like at the end of the
Right.
book,
Yes.
just like to put it out there. And then we have Ison's point, the only
Ison's.
point of view that is not
The only
Valda
I
and Mary.
clocked that. I was like, oh
Yeah, when I decided to keep it that way because he needed a lot. He never like you could tell what Melvian was thinking, even though we were with Maris all the time, even though it
no.
was Maris'
Right.
point of view.
Right.
But I think Ison needed like his little part where he talked to his wife and his soulmate and how he loved her and how he was sorry and how he wanted. To be honest, I was crying when I was writing that because I was this boy. But yeah. I was listening to a very sad song when I was writing that, so it was horrible. I remember my husband walked in like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Killing a
No.
character," but everything will be
No, this isn't
fine.
okay.
Oh, I know, and I'm so sorry, but at the same time, I'm not.
It's okay.
But it's gonna be
No, it
beautiful.
it hit in a really hard, but like almost a hard and a soft way because it was like, man, she got through giving birth to twins. Like, her and Ison are going to be together, and then all of a sudden, boom, like era out of
It was
nowhere.
very sudden, yes. I am sorry. And
It's
I
okay.
wanted it to be sudden because that's how war is. Like right now,
Right.
everything that's happening all over the world, it's horrible, but it happens and,
It does.
it's something that, is part of humanity as it is. And at the same time, I wanted to give the readers some like solace knowing that the twins were going to be taken care of.
Right. The
And
community was going to step in
the
and
community
take
was going to
care.
step in. We have Coral who stepped in.
Yes.
Coral, which is Ava's ex-wife.
His,
Um,
yes.
Coral stepped in. Ava stepped in. Valda and Marius, they are head over heels
Yes.
with the babies. Valda being, Valda loves kids. So um, the kids will make an appearance in book 4, not in book 3 because they're
Yay.
still babies. But in book
They're
4,
babies.
they're gonna be adults already in book 4, and they're
Ooh,
gonna have,
okay.
but they're gonna have like a special important role in both kingdoms. And when you see that, you're gonna like Melvian and Ison will be so proud. And yes, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what I
Oh,
wanted. Yes,
I'm so excited. Um, did you already know how you wanted Melvian and Maris's story to end?
Melvian and Maris.
Oh,
Well,
nope. Valda and
ah,
Maris. Sorry,
I
brain.
always, yes, I always wanted a happy ending. I always wanted them to have this happy ending, like a complete full on
Mm-hmm.
circle. Like I wanted them to go through, because I wanted people to be like, oh my god, they're so happy. Oh no, why are there like 100 pages left
Yes.
of the book? And I wanted that to happen. I wanted the anger of it. And but I didn't want them to go through that heartbreak. I wanted them to go through that anger also, like
Mm-hmm.
especially of Maris being super angry at Valda. But then I wanted her to go through, okay, but I have to understand what was happening.
Right.
Valda is not 100% at fault, and all
Context.
that.
Context is important.
Yeah, and even though Valda in her mind deleted everything that happened because of trauma, that's why she kept rubbing her hands against her pants all the time because she was kind of like washing off the blood of what she had done.
Right.
And I wanted that to happen. I wanted happiness, happiness, happiness. Oh no, what is happening? Anger, 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 and then working through that trauma to get to the happy ending. Yes, I don't like books that are sold as romance. No hate to people that do, but I
Mm-hmm.
personally do not like to read a romance book that ends in a very tragic way with the two main characters not being together. I
Right.
don't do that. I want you to believe that they're not gonna end up together, but at the end of it
Yeah.
all, they're going to end up together because I cannot physically I cannot do that.
Yeah. That's fair. It feels like romance should come with a happily ever after.
Yes. Yes.
If
Yes.
it
Yes.
doesn't, then it's kind of not like a romance. It's just a fiction story.
Exactly. And I want to escape reality. So give me something
Right.
that will heal my soul and my heart and I'll be happy. And that's what I actually do with
Right.
all my stories.
So, it sounds like book 3 is going to be more political and more politics involved, and perhaps book 4 is going to be more like religion involved. Does that
Hmm.
sound? At least that's what
Yes.
I picked up from
Yes. But
what you've said so far.
yes, yes, and book 3 is gonna be heavily on political and religious trauma because
Okay.
Kina has a lot of religious trauma. A lot. Right, they put this in a little spoiler, but I'm not that much. Um her kingdom doesn't work the way that other kingdoms do. Like
Right.
Valda is the head of the kingdom and she is the one in control of everything. Maris is currently like building up again her kingdom, so she's gonna work with that. But Kina, I love I love the Vulcan Kingdom and the relationship that it has with Harmonia, because Harmonia is kind of like a colony of the Vulcan
Yes.
Kingdom, right? They can make decisions, but first it has to be Vulcan who has the final say. Wink, wink.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Yes.
But Kina also has High Priestess and High Priest of both Ares and Hephaestus, which is both the gods that have blessed her.
Hmm.
So she also has, like, she can make decisions, but she also has to go through those two priests. And there's one specific priestess that is going to make her life not so happy, and she's constantly put in this position of, should I do what makes me happy, or should I do what's best for the kingdom? And
Right.
there's Afa trying to show her, you have to be a little bit selfish now and then. But also Afa doesn't want, basically the plot of book 3 is Afa not being happy that Kina's the one that the gods chose for her,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
being angry about that, because she's still, like, she's working with what she felt for both Coral and Maris. And also we have Kina, who has never in her life had any attraction to anyone. She's a demisexual girl. And she's working with the idea that this woman is my soulmate. I should do everything I can to create the bond which they created by, having sex. And she wants to do it just because.
Right.
Right, this is what we're supposed to be doing. I'm gonna do it. And
Hmm.
but deep down, she's also like, I want to experience what it is to have a bond before I have to do something for my kingdom, which I'm not gonna say because this will be spoiler. And then we
Okay.
have the priestess, which is constantly reminding her, this is what you're supposed to do. And Afa doesn't
Hmm.
like that. She doesn't like, want to stop listening to her. And yeah, so basically that will be the plot of book 3, like this fight with duty versus what I want. And yeah, it's gonna be a very good book. It's gonna be spicy as well, because Kina has never
Yes.
experienced anything, while Afa has been married and has feelings for more people than she can remember.
Right.
And it's gonna be a good book. I'm currently writing it, and it's good.
I'm excited for Afa to get her happy ending because
Yeah, she
girl
needs
has
it.
been put through it. She has been put through it. She deserves.
She deserves her happy ending, and I hope that she's not as stubborn as in book 2. And she, como dicen aquí en Puerto Rico, déjate llevar, déjate llevar. You just
Yeah.
go with the flow, girl. Go with the
Yes.
flow, and just let it go. Learn from each other, and be a teacher to Kina, and Kina will be a teacher to you, and you will be happy.
Mhm.
Who knows?
Mhm. I'm definitely looking forward to book 3 and seeing what comes about. Was there anything that you had to cut in books 1 and 2 that you really wanted to keep in?
Yes, and I'm actually thinking about putting it in a newsletter later on.
Mhm.
There were like 4 chapters where Valda and Maris were kids. Yes, it was like, if you thought book 1, I have book 1 right here. If you think this was thick, it was supposed to be like thicker. It was supposed to be longer. And
Ooh.
there were, like, the first spicy scene will happen in chapter like 15 or 20, something like that. But the thing is that there were a lot of chapters where Maris was a young girl, and it
Mhm.
showed a lot of her dynamic with her parents, and how her
Mhm.
parents coddled her. They didn't want her out, and the reasons for that. And and there was a scene where her mother was teaching her how to play the violin, and it was a very sweet scene, because it showed how much she loved her parents. It was one of those chapters to prepare you for the heartbreak of knowing how her mother passed away and
Right.
all. And the chapter where Valda, as a teenager, asked the Oracle about when will I meet my
Yes.
mate instead of soulmate or heartmate. Oops. that was also written down. I have it in my folder of edited things. Um, they also have I also have the scene where Arwen takes her to, to kill, spoiler, to kill Mary's father.
Mhm.
Everything there is written down, but I used that in book two as a flashback in the dream. So I took
Yes.
a lot of those images and put it there. There's also a scene. This is one, oh my God, I forgot about this one. There's a scene where Melvian, Maris, um, and Mary's parents were in the festival where they were kids
Uh-huh.
and they were eating at the kiosk, and suddenly Balda comes out from the kingdom and everyone's celebrating because the princess is out, and she's gonna
Yeah.
hang out and she's gonna dance with us. And she's with Caden. And Caden is, just telling her, like, let's have fun, let's drink. And she's like,
Yeah.
dude, we're underage, take it easy. Nah, let's do this, let's do that. And then they start dancing. And there's this part where they're dancing like in the circle in the plaza, and
Mhm.
Valda actually pulls Maris into the dance floor, into the dancing
Ooh.
sequel. But since they're young, they cannot do the connection. And they're just dancing and dancing and dancing. And I remember that there's this part where Maris looks at her and goes like, I've seen this woman
Yeah.
before, because she's like having that connection of her past life as soulmates. But yeah, I had to cut that part out because it was a lot. It
Oh.
was a lot, but it was a very beautiful scene. Like, because I remember that when Valda grabbed her, she said that this was in Mary's point of view. Like, when Valda grabbed her, even though she didn't know who she was, she felt like the rustling of the wind and the sea inside her
Yeah.
head, and this instant warmth going through her, and that it felt right to hold the hand of this girl who she didn't know who she was. And then there's also the part where she says Arwen, and Arwen sees her, and kind of like he knows who she is, and kind of like wants
Right.
to, hurt her parents and all that. And that's in the scene when the parents, when they take Ron, which is Mary's father.
Yes.
That was also written. All of that was written down, and I had to cut it
Oh.
because it was too much. And I might
Uh,
just, if you're in my newsletter, I might just one day post
I'm
it.
gonna be now because oh my goodness, I need to
Yeah.
read that. I
It's
need
like it's
to.
like 5 chapters. I had to cut like 5 chapters off because it was too much. I mean, it was a lot. I would have been 3 books then, like one when they were kids, and then when they find each other, and now book the final one, The Stolen Kingdom. But yeah, it was a lot.
That is a lot, but it sounds like so sweet
Yeah,
and
it was very
very well thought
sweet.
out.
It was very sweet, very, very innocent, very innocent.
Yes.
And yeah,
Yes.
I wanted to keep, it was almost YA kind of ish. If I kept it like
Yeah.
that, it was gonna, I didn't want the readers to be like, am I reading YA? No, not at all. But I had to cut it out. But I still have it, and it's completely edited. I just decided to take it off and like add pieces of it all around the book. But
Hmm. So what's next? Book 3?
book three is next. Kina and Afa's love story, which will be fiery, no pun intended. It will be very fiery love story. There's a lot of healing in book three for both characters. Like
Hmm.
Kina, not Kina. Afa needs to heal too because she's
Yes.
been through it. Kina has been through it, but not in the same way as Afa. And there's more gods involved. There's going to be more lore added to the story regarding the gods and
Love it.
how people get their powers. And there's also going to be morally grayness around it, especially with
Hmm.
Afa, because like again, she's very hard headed. And book three is about healing. It's about healing together.
Yeah.
Even though people say, oh, but Afa doesn't want to be in this relationship because the gods told her to, but then she's gonna find out that we were meant to be together.
Right.
Kina is just finding out everything about herself, even though she's a 30-year-old woman. She's finding out things that she didn't understand at first, and it's gonna be beautiful. And book four is even gonna be even more beautiful with the connection. This is a book. I think I told my best friend, and that book four is gonna be like a love poem to Puerto Rico
I
because
love
it's
that.
gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be for those jibaros living in the island, like
Yeah.
inside the mountains and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a love story for them, a love poem for them, because I'm gonna take so much of Puerto Rico and I'm gonna put it there. And I just feel
Yes.
like I need to let everyone know what a beautiful place Puerto Rico is, even though it's a fantasy setting. They need to know.
Yes.
And there's gonna be
They
cookies.
ought to know.
There are gonna be
There
cookies
better
soon and
be.
all that. Because after I heard the tourists coming here to kill the cookies,
Tourists?
I was
Yeah.
like,
No.
no, I'm gonna put a cookie in the story and I'm gonna make it like the main character knows something happens and she's gonna know that I'm still here because of the cookie. And it's gonna be
Right.
beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. And yeah. Also, I am currently rewriting Dowry's Meadow, which was my first book ever. And I'm rewriting it and making it a. It was supposed to be 2 books. It's gonna be one because
Oh,
I
nice.
was a baby indie author when I published it. I didn't know what I was doing, but now I know. So I'm just gonna put everything in one book, and I'm gonna publish it soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently
Nice.
I'm currently making the new cover and everything. It's gonna have this feeling of old school
Ooh.
books, like the Fabio ones. I don't know if you know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be like
Yes.
that. It's gonna be like that, like those kind of covers where it looks like Fabio holding his woman or something like that. But it's gonna have that
Yes.
that that mood and that vibe. So I'm excited for that. And there's a lot of festivals that I'm gonna be going. I'm gonna be in the Puerto Rico Comic Con. So if you're traveling to Puerto Rico, I'm gonna be there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yes,
exciting.
it's my
Ah,
it's my
congrats.
first big con, so I'm like, as
That's
soon as I
wild.
sign up, I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing? But it's gonna be fine. I'm not gonna stress over it. It's gonna be in
No,
April.
it's going to be so fun. It's
Yes,
going to be so
I
fun.
know, but I'm still kind of scared. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll just go with the flow.
All right. I don't have anything else. Is there anything else that you'd like to quickly chat about before we wrap it up?
Well, not really. Oh, somebody asked me if in book 3 we're gonna have more pets because they love Cerberus.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I wasn't actually thinking about that because I don't think Afa has I don't think she has the patience for a pet. But then I thought about Kina and I was like, we can give a pet to Kina. So I don't know, maybe a bird or something or a
A
wolf.
bird
I
would be
don't know,
fun. A
something,
parrot, maybe.
a parrot. Yeah. Or a raven. She's
Or
like
a
this
raven.
darkish person.
Yeah.
We'll think about that. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll give her a pet. Like when she comes back home and she has her pet waiting for her. We'll see.
We'll see.
Because the servers stole the whole show in book 2.
Yes. Cerberus is amazing. Love her.
Love servers. She's the best. She's actually I took I took inspiration of Cerberus, but from my very fat cat. She's like 70 pounds. I weighed her yesterday and I was like, how fat are
Oh.
you? And I carried her. 17 pounds. I'm like, girl, you need to lose. But yeah, Cerberus was the best, especially when she was
Yes.
that scene where she was trying to get the Vulcan guy to follow her. And she's like, hey, look at me.
Yes.
I'm so cute.
Doing
Follow
the
me.
whole like, I'm so
Follow
cute.
me. I'm so
Yes.
cute. And then and Bala stab him.
Yeah.
That was adorable. But yeah.
The ripping the throat out, I think, was probably my favorite Cerberus moment.
Yes. And it's just that, to be honest, in book 1, I had to remind myself that Cerberus was around. And
Yes.
after I finished all the spicy scenes, I'm like, poor cat is listening to these girls go at it all the freaking time. Poor cat. So, between the sumis that she got, between waking up, trying to suffocate Maris, it was
Yes.
like you have to, hey, Cerberus is around the room, do something with her. But then again, I remember when I wrote the final fighting scene in book 2, I knew that she had to have her moment to shine because
Yeah.
Cerberus is to be the protector of the underworld. So she's
Yes.
not a dog and she's not a boy, but she is the protector. She's Balda's
She
protector
is.
somehow. And when she ripped, and the funny thing is, this is another thing that was deleted. Arwen.
Oh no.
Arwen is the one that gives Cerberus to Valda. So
Oh,
it's poetic that
it
it is
is.
it's Cerberus that bites his neck. So it's just,
Yes.
and he gives Valda the cat. He gives Valda Cerberus after she kills Mary's father. Oh, I'm so sorry I made you
Like
do this.
a
Here, have a cat.
yes.
And she's like,
Yes.
Okay, fine, I'll take the cat because it's adorable, but I'm not really happy about what you made me do. But
Right.
yeah. So look, I
Ugh.
have several Cerberus on my shirt.
I see. I
Um,
see.
so when Cerberus did that, I thought it was poetic justice. Like, yes, bite his neck.
I love that. I loved every bit of Cerberus that we got. Ate it right up.
Yeah, I love her. I love her, and she will
Oh,
be
I
around
love her.
in book 3. Like at the beginning of book
Yeah.
3, she's gonna be around, wreaking havoc. The book 3, a little spoiler. Book 3
Yes.
stars right at the wedding celebration, Mary's and Balda's
Oh,
wedding
okay.
celebration. Like it jumped right into it.
So
And
pick right up where we left off,
yes,
basically.
right before Balda and Mary's go to use their special gift from Caden, they're in the party, right? And that's when it starts, and it starts with Kina's point of view, right into it. Like
Love it.
you get to
Love
know who
it.
she is, what she feels, these emotions. Like she doesn't know what is going on with her. Then we have Caden coming in and telling a bunch of stuff to her to mess with her head because they're cousins, kind of like
uh,
the sibling energy, and then we jump into Afa,
mm-hmm.
and we get to see what she's feeling right at the wedding celebration of the girl she had a crush on.
Kashan.
Oh, mhm.
Yep.
And
After
all.
getting threatened by
Oh, and
by
also
Valda.
that scene where Vala confronts her after
Uh-huh.
she saw what she did in the dream, that was also cut off because
I
I
would
thought it
like to
was
see
very
that.
violent. and
That's
and
okay.
and I was like, this is too, Valda, girl, you're toxic. Let's let's back it up a little bit. But yeah, that scene was cut up. But Valda, you know that they found her and she's like, yes, she's bloody and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That wasn't all the Volcanians. It was,
Canians. No. Yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
it was Valda as well. So she's like, yeah. But I
Oh,
love Valda.
Valda.
I love Valda and her anger issues.
Love, yes. Love the jealousy, love the possessiveness.
Yes,
Uh
yes, I
if
love
we
that.
can love it in the morally gray men, we can also love it in the morally gray women.
Thank you, thank you. There's people that might read the book and say, "Oh, this feels a little bit too hetero for me." Like there's two women doing it all the time. What do you mean by that? And you know, we as sapphics, we want everything
Yes.
that
Yes.
the other counterpart has. Why
Yes.
can't we? And that's something that I always told myself. Like, no hate. Again, no hate.
Right.
We see a lot of femme on femme relationships. That's fine. And I've read a lot of books that I
Mm-hmm.
love like that. But I want a muscle mommy. I want a muscle mommy. I want
Yeah.
her to have her issues. I want her to be masculine. I want her to be possessive. I want her to be a little bit toxic. I want her to be like that
Yes.
because some women are like that. Even though don't paint it like we're not. We are like that. And
Mm-hmm.
as you can find, if Balda was outside out in the outside world, she would be toxic. Of course, yes, I get it.
Oh yeah.
But it's in a book, so
It's kind of okay.
it's kind of okay, but it's in the book somehow. But yeah, I love Balda, and the muscle mommy in book 3 is gonna be Kina, and
Love that.
Aisen Boricua Sapphic is gonna be the muscle mommy in book 4 because I love muscle mummies, and you can pry them from my cold dead hands. I will always write about them. I don't care.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
that's my brand.
Do you think you'll go beyond book 4?
Oh, of course. I think
Okay.
up to now we're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
book 4, right? Because I already like outlined all of it.
Right.
But then again, we have the twins.
Yeah. Yeah, we
And
do.
I was
Yeah, we
thinking,
do.
you know how they say that twins share a soul?
Mm-hmm.
What if
Platonic.
there's Yeah, but what if? Hear me out. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying that I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
throw
it.
it out there. I
I
love
don't
it.
know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't. But what if, we have this character when the twins are, adults, consenting
Mm-hmm.
adults. We have this character that turns out to be, I don't know, CL's um soulmate, but since the twins share a soul, it's also Thrawn's soulmate. A
Yeah,
polyamorous relationship. I don't know. There's a lot of things. Like there's so many gods and goddesses in
there
the
are.
Greek mythology that you start like getting ideas out of it. So I've been thinking a lot about I've been thinking a lot about the twins, but there's nothing like solid still. Not like Ison and
Mm-hmm.
Melvian's reincarnation that is completely solid that it will happen. So yeah, and also you have to think that the series is called The Queen and the Heiress. So there's always going to
Right.
be somehow like a queen and somehow a heiress of something.
Yes,
So I'm gonna be always be playing around that concept of a queen and a heiress. So up to now,
I'm here for it.
Tina will be the queen, Aoife will be the heiress, but
Mm-hmm.
the heiress of what? That's
Right.
the question. And that's
Right.
not gonna say it because it will be spoiler alert. And also in book 4, there's gonna be a queen and an heiress. Which one's gonna be which? I don't know. You'll have to read it to find out.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great time.
Thank
All
you.
right, listeners. Thank you so much, Cece, for hanging out with me today. Listeners, thank you again for supporting us. Please make sure you support Cece on all of her socials. Um, Make sure you pick up uh, the Queen and the Heiress series, The Curse of the Goddess and the Stolen Kingdom. Book 1 and 2 are both out. Book 3 is a work in progress.
Hmm.
Make sure that you
And
support.
also, you have to follow me on Instagram because, especially in the
Mm-hmm.
stories, I start throwing little hints of what's happening. And I started doing
Yes.
it like this week. I started throwing like ideas of what's happening. And,
Yeah. So if
you
you
know,
want more, you got to follow, you got to interact, you got to pay attention.
and go to my Instagram, author underscore CC Gonzalez 9. Join the newsletter because, like I said, I will be
Yes.
publishing those deleted chapters soon. How soon? I'm not so sure. I have to look at them over. Maybe I'll do a series. I'll throw, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Who knows?
Yeah.
But you have to be subscribed to my newsletter. I'm not going to show it anywhere else, only to my newsletter subscribers. And follow me on my social media so you can be up to date to where I'm going to be next. Like, I'm going to be maybe in October in Caguas. It's all going to be local, by the way. They're all going to be local
Yes.
events because my work schedule is kind of iffy. But there's going to be a Plaza Norte in Caguas in October 11th. I'm
Mm-hmm.
also going to be in Barranquita Entre Páginas in Barranquitas, December 5 to 7. And I'm also going to be in Puerto Rico Comic Con next year,
Yes.
April 3 to 5. Yes, I think in April 2026.
Woo! That's so exciting.
Yes, there's going to be
Uh,
special merch of the girlies in that Comic Con that I'm not going to
ooh.
sell anywhere else. So if you want to go
Ooh.
and see me and see what I have, you have to see me at Puerto Rico
You
Comic
got to
Con.
go see.
Mhm.
Yes, love that. We support Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans
Thank
in
you.
this community. It is declared. Thank you all so much. We love you all. We appreciate you, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.